Good morning, everyone. Bailiff will bring in the jury.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a couple of our colleagues.
Senator, you all may be seated.
KP wants to withdraw a privilege objection.
House managers and Paxton defense team, I understand you have come to an agreement on exhibits.
That is true, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a couple of our colleagues who would like to read into the record, I believe, the agreement. If we could do that.
Yes? Yes. Please state your name.
Jennifer Buravorka.
Thank you, Jennifer.
The first ones that I'll read are the Attorney General's exhibit numbers, and those that we have agreed to pre-admission are 4, 5, 11, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 33, 37, 39, 40, 43, 44, 46, 47, 48, 56, 57, 69, 72, 74, 75, 87, 90, 95, 100, 103, 105, 107, 108, 109, 111, 112, 113, 121, 122, 127, 131, 134, 135, 136, 139, 143, 144, 146, 147, 151, 154, 155, 156, 164, 166, 169, 170, 174, 175, 182, 191, 192, 193, 194, 198, 203, 205, 211, 216, 227, 235, 241, 252, and 273. I will now read the House Board of Managers exhibits to which both sides have agreed to pre-admission.
And Your Honor, I'd like to formally offer the exhibits that my colleague just read out into evidence and have them be accepted.
Accepted.
Thank you.
The House Board of Managers exhibits to which the parties have both agreed to pre-admission are 92, 126, 213, 291, 450, 457, 466, 516A, 558, 45, 39, 233, 90, 110, 614, 109, 51, 305, 319, 389, 565, 134, 131, 130, 41, 145, 232, 210, 32, 36, 88, 162, 233, 239, 306, 357, 308, 309, 314, 375, 317, 319, 423, 434, 472, 163, 231, 227, 445, 71, 86, 77, 71, 62, 85, 67, 64, 91, 226, 90, 74, 96, 97, 98, 223, 225, 230, 290, 372, 137, 142, 578, 30, 115, 108, 104, 103, 293, 48, 376, 383, 565, 169, 131. That is the list.
So for the record, these exhibits are admitted into evidence?
I'm
That's the
sorry,
complete
sir.
list? I was just, for the record,
For the record,
all of these exhibits are admitted into evidence.
thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. Let me take a look at that.
Your Honor, may I be heard on this?
Yes.
In the interest of time for Your Honor and for our jurors, and because Attorney General Ken Paxton has nothing to hide, we're going to withdraw our objection and save us all a lot of time.
Mr. Busby, are you saying you're withdrawing your objection to all documents that will be submitted or just to this one?
We're withdrawing our privilege objection. The one that's been briefed, the one that we were going to argue. The Attorney General has nothing to hide. We will be focused on hearsay. There are hearsay issues that will come up, question by question. But as far as the issue about who holds the privilege, whether something Attorney General said was privileged, which we believe it is, obviously, but we're going to withdraw that so we can proceed with this trial.
So to be clear, there will be no further objection on privilege.
Correct.
Okay.
Now again, Your Honor, just so we're clear, I don't want you to think that I'm playing games with you, obviously. Anything that a witness said or claims to have said to Attorney General Paxton would be hearsay. I know there's issues with regard to what Mr. Paxton might have said, and they're going to argue that's non-hearsay, but we're not going to make a privilege objection.
Yeah. Your Honor, may I be briefly heard when you get ready? Before you rule, if I could be heard, I don't have to be right this second, but
Pardon?
I think you were about to address it. I just wanted to make sure I could make an observation before you ruled.
You may make an observation, Counsel.
Thank you. For clarification, I want to make sure some witnesses...
Speak up if you can. Speak a little louder.
Pardon me?
Just speak a little louder.
Sure. Some witnesses and their lawyers have been concerned in light of the fact they were afraid that the privilege was going to be claimed and that it was yesterday. So if I could have a clarification from Mr. Busby, are we to understand that those lawyers are free to tell their clients that the Attorney General's office nor Mr. Paxton are claiming privilege on any conversations they had? And I understand him to say they may still object to those conversations on hearsay, but that the lawyers are free to advise their clients that the Attorney General's office, they do not have to worry about the Attorney General's office or Mr. Paxton individually claiming privilege on any of their conversations.
Mr. Busby?
Your Honor,
Hilton?
I don't think we can comment on what other lawyers should advise their clients, and we certainly can't make any representations on behalf of the Attorney General's office right now, given the constitutional suspension. What we're saying is that we, on behalf of Attorney General Paxton, will not assert privilege objections in response to their attempts to admit exhibits or in response to witness testimony. There may be other objections that we have to raise through the course of this trial, but we are not going to burden the court and burden the jurors with deciding these extremely complex legal issues related to the privileges that we've been discussing and that we briefed last night. So we're withdrawing the motion that we filed last night, and we're not going to continue to assert those privileges.
My problem is, I don't want to be a streptors here, but this is important for everybody to understand. I think witnesses and we have a right to expect that this issue of privilege is dead. And if they're going to head off a ruling by the Senate at large or by the president in his capacity, temporarily, but everybody is still uncertain as whether they intend to assert it in the future. That's our problem. And we would hope and intend to ask that there be a ruling definitively from the Senate that privilege, whatever basis that we've urged, either whether it has been waived or on the law itself, so that people go forward knowing they're not going to have grievances filed against them claiming they violated the privilege. They're not going to be accused of violating the privilege. We need a determination as to whether or not those people are safe for the future.
Your Honor, I don't know how much clearer we can make it, and we could think about future fights and argue about things that I don't think we're arguing about. Attorney-client privilege, we're not raising that with regard to Attorney General Paxton and the witnesses that they're going to bring. I don't know how much more clear I can make that.
I think the court's satisfied with their withdrawal of their motion. If they're not going to raise privilege. If they do, then I will stop that.
Thank you.